April con đừng dính méo luôn. And then, Honorable Case of Honors, SP from Yukut. Thank you so much.
Thank you, SSA President. Now, I request our chief guest to hoist the flag, after which the torch bearer will follow. Now, the parade pen of the Tului Kutamnaulo can take their time. Thank you, the Louis Gitam Nalong, for your beautiful display. Now, for the exhortation, I give the time to Esakai, Headman, the Louis Village.
Honorable Chief Guest, SSA Golden Jubilee 2025. Mr. M.M. Honlumo Kikon, BJP National Spokesperson, and Guest of Honor, Katik Maladi IBF Superintendent of Police Okrur. And all the delegates of this sports, and again all the committee of SSA. I, on behalf of the Tului villagers, welcome you and wish you good luck. Now, I will speak to my dialects, in Tailuk Tangkhul dialects. Ili Than Mena Adam Kamiwang Tengpalage. Ise Sangmayang Sport Association hi Singum Hang Panga Kasungda Kaksunga Winite Aju Ui Duli Kuhlim Yuan Delay Hili Iara Rarhaire Isarhaire in the Tumli Hang from the Nausnabili Yak Karar Gaya Association hi Yang Laga Aju Chief Guest la Guest of Honor Rai Laga Maramda Yuri Maramda Kawan hi Itumi Kangajan Itumi Magakchung Jitai Hair He will take Willie The Sim Sam look for an opening the manga Tibana Hangida He Taban In a young laga program la Aju Singare Gihi Bunghakali Singare Gihi Reader Mr. Kai program is Sarade Arilam Rature Taka is a Sangmayang Sporty Kataurukla Gihi Yeruli Padang Sangaye Sangmayang Sport Gihi Kajana Rakla Jilla Itum Matesarade Itum Western Miramil Lady Clear the Jingri in a Kok Salaga Itumi Kuni taught we Pegar Muiva Kwai Sasi Natumi Bungai Create totally illa Natumpada Manulaka Hiran Kain Zetelaka Ishiwi Jingduni Onga Bing he Atuma meeting here Ram Disacted Gumaka Manguli Gumaka Tululi Gumaka Chili Gumaka Palili Gumaka Shampeli Tatakan Atumna Kasaji Yanka Aja Ituma civilization, some Mangare education, some Mangare, the Ituma, Kasung Lakari, the Itumukui Katuma ABC. Dum the taste Tarkiju Adamni Atumna Sendal Lemekare, Adamna Punctuality Atumna Lemekare, Sagijla Atum Tarakan side. Ituma Kanita, Kataurukla. He, Awa totally, Matasam go. Kayi totally, Itumi totally, he ride. 아주 이tum이 털리 기사들이 이제 뭐 죽고 있어. 하나와 털리 너tum이 털리 다 오르글어 이제 뭐 죽을까. 오크는 나게. 더 이tum 상마양이 확거사다. 인가 파이사세 이위 너위 아위짐 레라. 확거사다 옥티 와사름라가 상명이 상마양 그죠 상명 메시. 이시위 상명 메시지가 상명 그지 그 파위 상금양능라 저그 시위 상금양 사기 자리 이시 정든 누라 밀레이더 그래요위 와사키 양가 저그 시 막마타 그 똥아 이시 와선 왜는 담지태 하리스 와선 그파 아클럼 담지태 들어 제나 이 tum나 투이가 아담니 kokam 사살라 크라나우 토틀리 kokam 사살라 나tum 큰니 토 퍼닝 구일가 콕그 살라가 와차rum라가 상급 컴마타이나 상마양 과이 사미로 그지 나tum리 나우스나우 빙리 봉아이 아주 당후위 이시위 당후위 리럼니 north east south as jingdun atung jingcho ajeda leile hili longphang abu le sari longphang abu le de kle hili ya chu ming ning sa de in hange 이시 롱팡 western 롱팡이 정든 롱팡이 너전 메이튀 잠 메이튀 이전 메이튀 제나 나우스나빙 크라잔라 이너리들라 항아리 당굴리 에듀케이션 선펑크리 랑소도 강님네 이시당 이시 west 털머라 리리제스 학지가 털머라 삼펑그리 이시 우았습니다. 뭐 아담제찬 이시 우았이 무홀라기나 탄자사이 우았나 탄르가 사사이 아주 우았 아크랑다이 교황들이 제나 우았과 이위 급하닝 이위 급하닝다 근데 형 아니 그 아부람 아부다 그 아부 급하닝 대대 tum포 감사바이드에 제나 나우스나빙 크니 톱빙 그리 톱리 양 당굴나 이시 와스나 당굴리 탄가사 지타다 탄리화이 너툼 투이가이 툼이 톱리 코 감사를 살라 아그위 먹음타 아그위 먹음타를 살라 표명 로카이르가 감타지 파쿠르가 그니 도티 샘구르가 이시와시 샘가세 그지 샘바과이 너tum 클럽담 죽미루다 이 두고 아까 그니지 항하니 상무양 정든위 상무양 스포츠 애소시에이션 상무양 메르노 닝실라가리
Thank you, Headman, Jubilee Village, for your valuable encouragement. Now we will hear a short speech from the guest of honor, Kartik Malaji, IBS SP Ukru, after which it will be followed by special number presentation from Yangam and party. So I give the time now to our honorable guest of honor for your short speech.
A very good afternoon, everyone. To the distinguished guests, ladies, gentlemen, and all the contingents that have lined up here. Before I speak, let me appreciate and the band that has performed excellently here. Congratulations, you have done well. Keep up your good work. On this occasion, I congratulate the SSA members on this Golden Jubilee celebrations. I think this day speaks a lot for the hard work, the dedication that the SSA members has put up over many years, over the last 50 years, in identifying the young and nurturing them and guiding them. And I believe that SSA will continue in their endeavor in marching forward with a clear vision and with a clear goal, not only for the sports but also for the overall well-being and development of the youth, the people and this region. To all the young men and young women, boys and girls who are here, I want to remind that you are in a generation with incredible possibilities. The game you face, every challenge you face, and every lesson you learn, it's going to be a stepping stone for you. The careers that you have chosen, the careers that you are aspiring to, so the lessons that you learn, the challenges you face, these are the stepping stones for you. And let those things actively shape you. Your potential is immense. Most of your young, some of your students, maybe some of your graduates or undergraduates, some in college. There is a time to channel your energies in a right direction, and that is this time. There will be a few years after this, when you look back, you would be losing the time that you stand today. So I just want to remind all the young people here, there is a time for everyone in your youth to put your best, to give your best, to focus on your goals and on your careers. And this is the time. And organized today, they're very important. They help you in your physical, your mental, and in your overall well-being. They build social skills, they build your confidence, they build self-esteem to you, and also they build your character. For some of you, the sports, the games you play can be a career choice, but for most of you, your participation and your learning in these sports and these games, may it help you to excel in the careers that you have chose to. I urge and I remind and encourage to set a certain goal in your life. Believe in yourself, have a positive mindset. The challenges are many. You may have people around you who may disappoint you, who may try to pull you down, who may not believe in you. But that's how the world is. And those who overcome such challenges can only progress in life. So be positive in your mindset. Set certain goals which you can work. You need to have a daily goal, a weekly goal, so that you are not wavered according to the wind, you are not wavered according to the society, the culture, or the friends. Each of you should have a goal in your mind. I would just like to remind you, a 1,000-mile journey starts with a single step. This is a very famous quotation. A 1,000-mile journey starts with a single step. This has always been in my heart and mind. When I was in my college, I've studied in IIT Guwahati. After that, I worked in Indian Oil Corporation for 6 years in Delhi. Thereafter, I've joined the Indian Police Service without coaching, self-preparing for the examination while working. So this is the quote I often remember: "A 1,000-mile journey starts with a single step." Whenever I take a book, I find it difficult to start with, but I always remind myself, a 1,000-mile journey starts with a single step. That's what I mean to say. Set a goal and set a daily and weekly goals, whatever your career is. So be serious with it. As I said, there is a time for everything, and this is the time. And I would also like to mention, please give highest priority to your studies and to your education along with sports. Education has immense potential to bring transformation at various levels, social, economical, and it can transform your life, your family, and your next many generations. And I also encourage the SSA members and also the leaders and the elders of this region to, if possible, consider setting up a library which will help your students and youth, where they can come, they can access to certain books of various competitive exams, where they would know the different better career choices and various career choices that are available in this country. And to the end, I thank SSA for giving me this opportunity to participate in the celebrations. And I encourage SSA to continue your good work and to focus on building unity and promote peace and pursue peace, so that it will ensure growth and prosperity for each one of you, each one of your villages, for this district and for Manipur. In the end, I would encourage everyone here, seek the Almighty God in all your ways, with all your heart, so that you will be prosperous and successful in everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you to our guest of honor. I hope and believe that your kind presence will build a better relationship between you and the public. Now, for a short speech, I give the time to our chief guest.
Thank you, moderator. I've driven 5 hours from Dimapur, so I'll take a little bit more than a short speech, taking advantage of that length that I took and the time that I took to travel here. Respected hereditary headman of Talu village, the convener of the local organizing committee of the Sangmayang Sports Association, our brother-in-law and also the SP of Ukhrul, Sri Kartik Maladi, IPS, the associate pastor, all the participants of this Golden Jubilee celebration from various villages nearby. I bring warm greetings on behalf of my family, and also I wish you a very happy new year. I want to start by thanking the organizers for inviting me to this auspicious event. I am honored and privileged to be in your midst to attend this Golden Jubilee celebration. When I asked Uncle Taichikas what is the significance of Sangmayang Sports Association hosting this event, he said that it is in commemoration of a very important event in 1975 which brought together this village, which was taken apart by one very decisive historical decision made by believers of Christ. But before I get into my short speech, I want to mention that because my wife is from here, I keep traveling to Ukhrul. And this is my third visit to Toloi village. And in my third visit, I have used the roads that were available. But this time, I must say I'm very impressed with what an HIDCL is doing. And it didn't take me a long time to reach, but definitely shorter than last time. I want to quote Nitin Gadkari, the Union Minister for Road Transport, who said that the road to development begins with the development of roads. And we can see that visibly everywhere in the region today in the Northeast, and makes travel easier for us, makes communication easier for us, makes visiting each other as different communities of Naga tribes easier for us, and makes everything, including our economic and livelihood issues, easier to get by. So it's a wonderful thing to see the way the roads are being constructed and the fast pace at which development is taking place, at least in that sector. And the other thing, I was really impressed when I look at the theme of this celebration, Golden Jubilee celebration. The organizers mentioned 1 Corinthians 9:25. I like to begin by quoting that in the NIV. It says, "Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever." We see in this epistle that Paul was drawing parallel between athletes and believers. In the ancient Greek, the games underwent rigorous training. They had to deny themselves certain pleasures and comfort to win what was, according to Paul, a temporary prize. And he compares the athletes of Greek games with the believers. So I see this as a very important foundation and basis for why we are celebrating the Golden Jubilee. When I asked Uncle Taichikas the meaning of this Jubilee and the origin and the history of this Jubilee, he said it started with the amalgamation of the two sides of one village. It sort of made me question why use the word amalgamation. He said in 1975 the elders used the word amalgamation. So it struck me because amalgamation denotes many meanings, but I would look at the entire process as something which was similar in nature to many Naga villages across the length and breadth of Northeast when Christianity first came. I also come from a village where when my great-grandparents accepted Christianity, they had to stay away from the main village because there were some disagreement and conflicts between believers and non-believers. This was the pattern and this was the trend in every Naga village which had initially accepted Christianity during the colonial period. And it is interesting to note that we celebrate something like this today because I am fascinated by the fact that this is the first of its kind in any Naga village where the two villages, one which went to the corner because the new religion was not accepted by the enemist, and after a period of time, they coming together in the same village to be part of the same old village. Many people, many believers who formed another village continued in the new villages across the length and breadth of Naga villages. And this particular amalgamation that you talk about here is one of its only perhaps example that we see. And I'm very impressed by this history and the fact that you wanted to commemorate that particular coming together of one community or one village broken by a belief, broken by something which believers did, separated by that belief. But later on, having the maturity and the wisdom to think of unifying, coming back together. I think we have villages from near and far, part of your western region, but I would like to commend the Talui village and their ancestry and their elders and those who thought about this, especially because this should be the foundation of every Naga family. How to bring about unity? We should learn from your village. I think many times we look at the issues which divide us. We look at issues which separate us. But we have history like your village has this history where our elders have looked at the common bond that binds us and have come together. This is something which all Nagas should emulate. And this is something which I can proudly say that your village has a story to tell to every Naga that we can reconcile, we can unify, we can come together because of the changes that came about since our ancestors decided to accept Christianity. I want to highlight that this leadership or this basis on which your village showed leadership is admirable, and I commend your village because from this village many great leaders have come, many good and important people have come and shown not just the Tangkul community but the entire Naga community across the length and breadth of Northeast that we can do good for the future of our community of the Naga society and Naga family as a whole. Now, I understand why. Where do you come from? What has your history been? So this is something I take away with me today. And I'm very grateful and privileged to be part of your Golden Jubilee celebration because I've learned something which otherwise I would not have learned. That is one. Number two, I believe that the Naga family, sharing similar cultural history, should now begin to think, especially our generation, of visions which is beyond our separate interests, which is beyond narrow, limited interests. We should think, like your villagers thought, of coming together, of a common interest, of sharing a common vision. How do we do that? I think the offsprings of Talui village can lead the way because you have that history of amalgamation. And in this, you have a bigger burden than all of us. And when I say this, you look at the possibilities of what I am saying today with regards your very special history. Of course, sometimes there are temporary interests among leadership in present times who wants to instigate the things that divide so that we stay divided and we are divided forever. But one family cannot always stay divided. And in this move for unity, because it will bring precious dividends to our communities across, it is time again and again emphasized by a lot of people, but it is time now to not only look at that, but using this Golden Jubilee celebration, let us pray that the Naga family come together for a unified vision. And one of the other observations I make from your village, and this is my third time as I've said, is the fact that early Christians gave a lot of emphasis and importance to education, especially secular education and modern education. And because of that emphasis, you see, in the present times, like the rest of the world, because we cannot be left out, we have seen a lot of young or a lot of elders from your village excelling in many fields in this country. We have had, I mean, if I were to cite examples, there will be a lot, but since my time is limited, I will just say that because of that emphasis on education, we have produced exemplary citizens from this village who have contributed immensely, not only to the Tangkhul community, but to the Naga community as a whole. And it is only time to focus and to challenge ourselves that our elders were able to do that and achieve that, but what about our generation? What more can we do better to demonstrate what our elders have done? So this is the challenge before us. And I believe that in today's atmosphere and times, there are several kinds of leadership. One is the political leadership. I am a politician also, therefore I keep observing what kind of leadership do we want. And when we look at the emphasis our ancestors had on secular modern education, I would say in the whole of Manipur, if you look at the ratio and the aggregate of that ratio per tribe, Tangkhuls have the highest literacy rate among every other community in the whole of Manipur. It is something commendable. It is appreciable. What have we done of it is something, many events and decisions that your community takes will show and exemplify. I mean, one of the leadership that other Nagas look up to Tangkhul is, the Tangkhul community is knowledge leadership. Are you providing knowledge leadership to the Nagas, being pioneers, being the first among equals in many fields, being blessed in many ways? This is the question many people ask. And I definitely say that Tangkhul's prioritize education more than anything else in this world. And I think many will agree with me when I say that education is very important for every community. But since your literacy rate is high, since the emphasis of our ancestors have been on education, and therefore it has also reaped dividends and helped a community grow immensely. I just wanted to look at one simple example. Suppose you produce a lot of civil servants, a lot of scholars who are shining everywhere in the country and abroad as well. But if you elect somebody who is not educated enough, who is not able to represent your wishes, causes, desires, demands, and wants as per your expectation, who is to blame? I always think that yes, to be a successful politician doesn't mean you have to be highly qualified or, educated. But for a society which has the highest literacy rate among all other communities in Manipur, at least we expect that minimum qualification of your politician should be a graduate. We expect that because today we are living in a generation where young students will be embarrassed if their legislators or representative will not be able to even read a written speech properly. It will be an embarrassment for all of us. And if I look at your history, at the glorious achievements your community have made, some decisions, if you have done, not in the spirit of that movement of growth of your community, maybe we should have a look into our own decisions. And this is something which I'm not saying, I'm not against anybody who's representing you, but if I look at the qualities of your bureaucrats, excellent, world class. And we expect the same in every sphere from at least your community. I came here today because as someone who's married to a Tangkhul, I've always looked at our cultural similarities. And somebody who has written a history book, I am inclined to look at our historical past and look at the similarities and also the possibilities in the future. If you look at the migratory route of our communities, it is something which is oft repeated and I need not repeat, but definitely on the basis of that similarity, what is the future that we look at? I am, as a young person in politics, I am burdened by the fact that we don't have an organization which culturally unites all of us as Naga people. I say this because there are many Naga tribes who are not part of the Naga Hoho, for instance. And today, since we are in Tolu, I am mentioning this again and again, I will seek your indulgence in this from Tului villagers. In today's time and age, I feel that those who are enlightened, those who are the first among equals, those who have been pioneers, should not neglect the others. But I'll go a step further by saying that since you are pioneers, let us not stop the momentum of bringing people together, of unifying communities, of ensuring that our leadership is not limited to our village or our community. There are a lot of times when ideas tries to divide us. I've written a book on the history of, the colonial history of the Naga people. And in that I look at two particular sections where the colonial, the British colonial, forces first came into the Naga Hills. The second portion deals with the Second World War and how the brave Naga warriors supported the mighty British Empire to win the Battle of Kohima and Imphal. It is known to the world. But our perspectives have not been shown properly. And today if I look at the history, because I wrote mostly about Kohima and the stories that I know from handed down from generation to generation, since Nagas went as labor corps, Nagas went as soldiers in the Assam regiment to fight for the British Empire. I mean, the only book that time I read about the Battle of Imphal, especially it's known as Battle of Imphal, but most of the fights occurred in Ukhrul district as well. And it's not as it's not recorded as much as we would want it to be. So today our challenge is twofold. One, are we handing down those stories of heroism, the legacy of our involvement in preserving our race and culture to the younger generation? This is the challenge before us. So I would like to say that, my second last statement would be, if we know our roots, then we would know where we come from. If we know where we come from, we will stand for those who we belong to or who we are part of. We would not forget our roots. We will not take the support of some other people. To demonstrate leadership among the Nagas. And when I say this, I look at two aspects of it. One, if you want proper representation, we need the support of the people. But if someone is trying to take the support of other communities and go against the interests of our own community, I think it is a very telling sign of a fact that something is wrong with us. Number two, I have today witnessed the presence of our hereditary headman of Talui. Then there is the other acting headman of Talui. I mean, after independence, India's independence, we've seen that democratic institutions have been in place. Democratic processes are taking time. It will take time, but it will happen. We have two headmen here. One is the hereditary, one is the acting. So if I look at it, we are preserving our traditions, one. We are also continuing with the new systems and forms of governance. This is the same story in every Naga village, I must tell you. But in terms of representation, we have given prominence to the elected representative of the village, and we also preserve the headman as hereditary. But in today's politics, I will say, at least among Nagas, I have not seen any dynastic politics being played. Anybody who wants to promote dynastic politics will not succeed among Naga communities. That I have seen. It's my observation. It is purely on the basis of your merit, of your capability and efficiency. Sometimes there are occasions where I may be articulate, but if I am not educated, if I am not qualified enough, when actual decision-making opportunities come about, we fail to see because we lack the vision. Education enhances your vision. And therefore, I want to emphasize that spirit should be continued because it is in our tradition, it is in our history. It is the history that we don't read because it's not written about At least not so much as we would want it to. So one example I will end with is, suppose occasion will come when the question of delimitation will come. In terms of population, I've been asking this ever since I landed in Tului. In terms of population, and representation in a democratic space is about population ratio. In terms of population, if you deserve 4 or 5 more seats among Ukruls, or among Tangkuls in Ukrul and Kamjong district, we need to ensure that we get what we deserve. And for that to happen, you need representatives who are not opportunistic, who will not do anything to sacrifice your people, but who would do everything to sacrifice his time, energy, and life for the sake and the welfare of the people. So we need those kind of representation. So I say that it is inherent in our Naga culture that we still revere those great qualities of our ancestors till date. I will end by wishing all the sports, all the team that have come here for this Golden Jubilee celebration, and also for the competition that lies ahead of you, all the best. Show your team spirit. There are many Tangkuls who have played, represented many clubs in the country, represented India as well, and it is our proud moment when we see all of them play there, and it is our hope and expectation that from this ground we will go on to greater heights in the service of our people and our country, and we expect no less from all of you who are here. I'll end by quoting B.R. Ambedkar, who said, "However good a constitution may be, if those who are implementing it are not good, it will prove to be bad. However bad a constitution may be, if those implementing it are good, it will prove to be good." All the best. Thank you once again, SSA, for inviting me and my family to this wonderful celebration. I am blessed and privileged once again, and words are not enough to thank you for this privilege. I and my family will be praying for this event to be successful in the days to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It is another hidden presentation to our chief guests and guests of honors. Sir, may you please receive from our associate.
On behalf of all the team, I give thanks to our respected chief guests. It is our great honor and privilege to have you here to grace the inaugural functions of the Sangmayang Sport Association Golden Jubilee at Tului Village. And it is our great expectation that your encouragement to the youth will bear fruits. And may God bless you in your political journey. So now let's proceed to the oath taking. So for the oath taking, I give the time to the Field Marshal, and I request all the flag bearers to kindly come forward along with your team flag. Flag bearer 平均的，我双看没了就，估计叫地米 flag 能说的。
nhâm lộ đi phải sao lần thùng đi yang sáng lộ mới thấy thứ gì ốc taking vang đi chỉ xuân lộ Sangmayang Sport Association với chính cung thắng thằng ngã các cái sinh ở có cái Jubilee nhịp về làm nhà chính lý ý à sẽ cháu amin cái hàng mình amin ý amin cái hàng mình ý khờ hàng mình nó tuyên shit cái sana Sangmayang Sport Association we rules assembly color rules and regulation color rian we assembly ngariau ra color Sangmayang Sport Association resang khawai kadom jingra up
Now I give the time to Henry Lungliang, acting headman, the Louis Village, for word of thanks.
From the depth of my heart, I would like to give thanks to our chief guest, Sir Kiko, BJP national spokesperson. I really thank him, since he doesn't come alone also. He came along with his wife and a son. This is really a great encouragement to this function. Thank you so much. Secondly, from the bottom of my heart, I would also like to thank our guests of honor, Sir Kartik Malati, IBS, Superintendent of Police Ukru. He was given invitation to be the guest of honor within a short period of time, if I am not mistaken. But Sir willingly accepted, even though his invitation was given within a short period of time also. So this is also a great encouragement to this function today. Also, I would like to give thanks to all these program officials, namely Sangmayang President, Sangmayang Executive members. I just would like to talk our own dialect for a few seconds, 3 minutes. So please bear with me. 아주 들이 그 힐리 삼양위 진구먼 봉아 가그숑 버니딜리 라정 미드 클레이야 무슨 나사이 꼬루 그런 나사이 꼬루 그러나 아주 위 삼양 힐리 he will function he mà thả mấy tấm yuan khawai cá sung mấy tấm yuan khawai cứ cái chiều nó có tóm cái gì có là azu hili thả mấy tấm này LOC we commissioner LOC member being Sangmayang we executive being 좀 사이 고를리 닝실라가 이거다 번이 딜리 50 years 각숭 we 고른 주블리 we communion hili 나 좀 나이 다때 마탄도 두 바이나 물론 그자 너도 미 아담 구석르가 지금 이제 그래서 거르히 헤일거링 파라게 들리 쿠힐리 나둠나 이다다 그동 미망아이나 아주 지미쇼 이둠나 사무양 고런 주블리 사무양 위 진공어 방옹 송위 고런 주블리 나라이 그 사지 아주 달라게나 금연 선거 방휴와 리발레니 실라게 이카다 검타 지미쇼 금미와
ก็เลยลางไม่ได้ก็ตัวมันก็มีไซโคโรลีถึงกับพัดแล้วก็พงชกเลยอาจุยเลยแล้วจะมีตะเลยเซบากสาบิงละไปก็เลยฮิวลีพาร์ทคุยตะเลยฮิวอีสามยังวีลีคุยตะเลยโคลันเดอร์สบิงละไปก็เลยกังเตบิงละไปไซโคโรนามันทำไม่ขวายกาชุไม่ขวายตัวหัวหน้าเสร็จแล้วก็สาตะเลยหิวบ้างอีน่ะตัวเลยวิเลยทอดอยู่โมได้นั่นนั่นทุ่มนี่ก็ชีริงกับป้าแล้วก็พงชกตะเลยยัยน้ำโซดานั่นทุ่มมีเรียวว่ากิตะเลยฮิลีก็ใกล้ก็ก้าวมาชกลักละสังเมียงวิคังเรียวฮีกาชุงลักไงน่ะดิสซิปลินเลยลักไงน่ะก็เลยขี้ชิงลกลักไงน่ะเลชิมโนลักไงน่ะเรียวว่าด้ก็กูบ้าดมเลยเลชิรีอันนี้ก็กูบ้าริงกับพายนี่ก็กูบ้าสามอย่างสารโลกจีฮีฮานาดังเอาไปนิสลากัน
อีจุมีก็กูพิสเสียหายมิสเตอร์ฮอบสันนุ่งสุนนะสามีเรจิมาราร์แล้วก็อาคาชิดาmeetings อารุยนกรฟังชันฮีก็กูปุ่งชุดาจิฟกิสลีพัชดาก็คุยรุมไฟดาไรดิกมีก็ไฮปิงก็ละอารุยไตสลีพัมเดอร์เคลปิงนั่นทุ่มนะอารุยฮีก็กูปุ่งชุดาเรื่องมี presentary member hold จะเลี้ยงมีโลกจีนทุ่มนี้สักละไงนะขังเก่าก็ละก็ชัดซาเดเลย now I give the time to Hobson
ยารุลิขจิชาตักสาวเกอาจจะคอลัมจูบลีขมิอนสาวก็ได้ chief case นราจังละก็ทีมก็จิบุลีละ5,000 each ทีมก็ต้องอะไรมีเรื่องเจจูบิตุงลีอาจจะเป็นสามีตะเลียอีทุเมเปรตเป็นก็ละอารุยเมโลดิกาตลุยก็ตำนาวลองนะ organize สักมีเนจีวีนิ่งกิชิลาทุมนี่แหละให้มีแต่เลยเจน่ะ function ให้กุบลัก LOC วิ officially อารุยนะทุมีทีมบิงลิมิตเลยไปซะ 5,000 each ก็ละอารุย inaugural program เฮลิ special program คุยมีแต่เลยmelodica barret bandก็ละ special number มีขายgroup ปิงจิลียังงมฟุม party จิลีละถึงพังอาริบมีเรื่องเจนจิลีก็เล็กสามิโลก็ละอวีริงภาษาดารามเฮลิละบาลากาก็ถึงหังมติมีไอ้เดเลยไซโคโรนนิกชิฟังปังเฟมส์
เสียสาวเสียสากว่าบริบราเนเน่สังเมียงพระชกมีจิวังนิชิดมสดมิลิชิตเลยลังไม่เดหักสังรักสังเทมสังสักเดจิงกุมหังพงาไม่ยอนขมีหิววังละโปรโหนลีนิชิดมสดจิกัดลิชิตเลยลังไม่เดขังรุมามังไลทุมไซโกรุนะนวิมังอาลีโศกนิโพลิชิตเลยกิจอิตุมีริงวากิตเคลียมิรินสังเมียงลองนาวฮีเทมสังขวายเรสังขวายชิงรีไฮขวายนั่นขมยอนมิลิชิตโลเดเสียสาลิชิตเลยโปรโหจิงกุมหังพังอากาชุงเดเขาพกเธอเธอเลขวีพุงวูบุงอีวังเลยทุมเสียสายอาทุมิจดมันอาทุมิไซรันรุมันนั่นลุมชันมีเดนั่นโซมีเดกังเรไอน่ะชิงเรไอนกถึงสักมิโลดัตมวังเลเสสาดเลยหลังไม่เดอรุยสังเมียงลองนาวฮีเทมสังเรสังขวายวังพุงวูซาเดกเลอทุมบิงไซโกรูตุงลีละโปรโนลุคมิชันสกมิตาชงมิโลขมชุงเลกิชีชิงเรกายเจนะโปรอัตชับขวายอาทุมลีนันโซมิโลอาทุมิจดมันอาทุมี13 วันเจนะรำฮีองรำฮีเซมกาวายเกอทุมลิลโซมิโลก็ละอาจุชิมิกโชนั่นอิทุมนะงรายสันลักเกนะงรายกิสาชุพลีวีฮอกพกอัตมซาเดโปรโหงรันขมีหิวังละนิงชีอัตมิทรานนาวราอรวจากยักษ์ เรียวขวายมาสวจิกดขวายตะเลนเชนนลิชาคิสักขวายรากจิบไฮเรอบาบริบราขมชุงเลกิชีชิงรีกหายเชนนวิอุงรำเลเซมกาขวายอาทุมไซโกรูตุงลีนวิโซขมิตาชงมิโลดอาทุมิวังละเสสาดลีลางไม่เดมาแต่ลักเอ็นเสสาดลีโอกทุยฮิลีกเทมกช่างอควาสักไว้นั่นสมีกหายนี่ชีวิวังเอ็นอิทุมี Golden Jubilee ฮิวีจิฟเกสามีเดคเลเยเชวิดุงลีชิมคูดุงลีนูลุคมิชันสกมิตาชงมิโลลางไม่เดอออฟฟิเซอร์สกจุงกอัตมีอดเฮร์ไฮเลกรางรุมเดคเลเยอัตมบิงไซโกรุลิลจุบลีฮิวิริงกพาโซคมิสัมพังเดอัตมีobviously abamli chingren hanung seruno abarivra ningshi shihaire itumwe program chingren haupokta chingren ukup sangkhami jiwang nalim sochikatele langmai da broho naumai kapta itumwe chupliwi kare khongkhai kalalei gi shiwi achak watsak sada ogtuwi pasana mai harda gabaya mandotha gabaya khongkhai khungrum khawaiรันพิงให้เดลิโคริฟรานันมัชร์มีเคนันมัสโรมีเคก็คือวิเคคลัดมาเลยมเรจิวิวังลุมชันเดมกเทียมังลาวิปังชับเจนะโซมีเดธรรมเทงมิลิชิดลูก็เลยสมกับพังยังปังชับจีนะอิทุมไซโกรุลีชิงเรนึงสามคุยขวายงสังสักมิลูเดอบาวูริฟราวิมังอาลีอันเอามีรจิชูมิงสิงเดเสียกษาเนAmen.
Khasha Lushidale, Ariwi, Service Group Ainung Shuda, Chief Gisli Pachada, Kurum Kavaida, Rarik Mikai Bing, Color Ticely Bomb the Clay Bing, La Ishtali, Presented Memo Lichung Milo, Chili Langwida. Kuku ram way no Musora the clay, VA ping, color tikan ping, VA ping, color tikan ping, Natunala, Jung Rumilo, he, the village authority Shongwain, Saklaga in the Posadele, Church Chishat Lucidele, Aru Michinwe, Kongai, Jeffkis Lee, Queen Rubida clay, Hile, Kuku and rather clay, Tanada clay, VA ping, color tikan ping, VA ping, color tikan ping, Natunala, Kajang Rumilo, he. Saklagai na kau tali ning saklagai ra. Jenung soda. Aju Sangmayang hili referee umpai saming phai larik ming hai ping kala program sang hai ping china arwi SSA officially kung mi log ji hi na tumli la SSA office executive ping wi shongai na khang kau san na ji shan lu shidale aju Jubilee we sports li referee umpai saming have kwai larik mi ka hai kala program li chang dak li ping tum sai corona SSA officially mi log ji hin tumli la shan lu shidale Jenung soda rather clay team ping manager rather clay team ping manager tumli la jitel shidale armang ya pung shini li tum fixer musham gan la clay ping kala rules ping ye ku kwai le khai wang na tum da pung shini har chak da SSA we officially rami log ji hi na tumli la sakla ga ina ka lu shidale jishat lu shidale rather clay team psycho manager ping armang ya shong pung shini li fixer sham phai kala rules nge ku kwai le hai wang pung shini har chak da na chuna